What's up, everyone? As you can see, that was the hyperlapse sequence that I made a few videos ago. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I made that hyperlapse sequence. And I'm going to explain why I made some of the decisions I did in that video. So on that, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing I want to do, because it started with the stairs, I'm going to find my stairs clip and drag it onto the timeline. Now, because this clip is was a little longer, I am going to find the spot where I feel it should actually start at. And let's see. Alright, that seems like a good starting point. Now, the next thing I want to do, because the step after this is to start drawing a mask, I want to speed up this clip. And you'll see why in a little bit, because drawing a mask can be a tedious process. So speeding up this clip is going to give me less frames to work with, which means the drawing of the mask isn't going to take nearly as long, even though it's still going to be a very tedious process. To do this, all you have to do is click on the clip, click on this icon, and since we want to speed it up, we're going to go to fast, and we're going to try 8 times. We're going to see how that looks. Let's see how that looks. That looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to be happy with that. Now the next step is to actually draw a mask. Now to draw the mask, you want to come over to your little effects tab, click over here. I already have the masks up, so I'm going to click on draw mask and drag it over to the clip. Now I'm going to want to zoom in so that I can see much more of the clip. And yeah, now you are ready to start drawing a mask. Now before you start drawing the mask, the first thing you want to do is have your control points. These are going to be the points that the mask actually covers. Now to do this, I want to find the spot where I'm going to actually start drawing my mask. And when it comes to the stairs, the mask that I'm going to draw is going to be at the very bottom step. So I'm going to find the first clip where the bottom of the steps appears, and it's this point right here. So I'm going to draw my 4 points to cover this. Boom. Okay, as you can see, that is covering the bottom part of the stairs that I want covered. So I'm going to click invert mask so that I can see exactly where I'm covering, and to make sure that I'm not covering any part of the stairs themselves. Now, as I'm going along, you want the masks to move with the scene. So to do this, you want to add in some keyframes. So I'm going to go to transform, drop that down. I'm going to add a keyframe to position and rotation. And I'm also going to add keyframes to control points. Now with these keyframes, you're going to be able to change the mask as the scene is going along without having to make any major adjustments to the scene overall. This is going to allow you to go through the scene once, draw the mask, and move on to the next part of the sequence. So let me start drawing the mask and get through the scene. Because this is a tedious process, I'm going to speed up the rest of this process for you guys. Alright, now that I have the drawing of the mask done, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the clip and see if I made a mistake anywhere. Which I clearly did, so let me go back to the beginning here. Alright, let me get that out of the way. Let me play that again. Alright, now we are ready to move on to the next step, which is to add another clip to the timeline. So the next clip was this one of me walking, so let me place it under. You want to place the clip that you're going to use under where you just drew the mask, so that your mask isn't just going to a black space, unless you want that to happen. If you want your mask to go into something else, then you need to put the next scene under where you just drew the mask. So let's see, where did I start drawing the mask? Right around there. So this is where I want to start my next clip. Right around there. So when you play through, it just goes straight into the next scene. Now with this next scene, it is a little slow because for the rest of the scenes in this video, I filmed at 120 frames per second. So that is gonna really slow down the clips themselves. And because of that, you want to speed up the clips. So I'm gonna click on the clip, speed it. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I want to reverse the clip, because as you can see, as I'm going through on this timeline, eventually I am walking forward. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing this, especially with a hyperlapse video, but the way I want the hyperlapse video to go, I have to reverse all of my clips, because if I didn't do that, it would look as though I am just walking into a wall instead of coming through a wall. So the transitions between scenes wouldn't make sense if I placed all the clips moving forward. And another thing, you don't want to put all the clips on your timeline at once, because you want to make sure each clip is edited specifically to how you want it to be edited. And if you put them all together at once, it could make things look a lot more jumbled on your timeline and could eventually get confusing for you in the end. So let's start with reversing this first clip. To do that, you go to where you would speed up or slow down the clip, click on it, click reverse clip. Now the clip is reversed, and now it is time to slow down this clip. Actually, speed up this clip a lot. So I'm going to click on this arrow, reverse fast. Let's try 20 and see how it looks. I can go for making this a little bit faster. Let's make it a little faster, see how that looks. Okay, yeah, I like how that's looking so far. So now I'm gonna start going on to the next clip and add that into the timeline. But as you can see, there's a slight problem with all of this, because the original clip was under, so I need to somehow make it so there is space between that second clip that I added under the mask to the next clip that I want to use on the timeline. So to do this, I'm going to place this clip actually next to the clip that goes on under the mask, and as you can see, there's a nice little gray area here. I'm going to use my blade tool, cut that so Final Cut thinks that this is actually part of the video, which is what you want, and then you can delete the rest of this, and you can just go back and add in that other clip, so that when you're playing the clip, it just goes to the next one without having the struggle of the clips being laid on top of each other. Now with the rest of these clips, I am going to do the exact same thing that I did with the previous clip, and I'm going to reverse them, I'm going to speed them up, and I'm going to put them together, and you're going to be able to see how it looks in the end. So I will see you in a few seconds. Alright, so now that I have all my clips together and I have the speed where I want it, the next thing to do is find a decent way to end the sequence without having a rough ending with the picture that you see in front of you right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add in a nice little cross dissolve, which is in under transition, a cross dissolve, add that at the end, and as you see, it's just a nice easy way to ease out of the entire sequence. Alright, so the last thing you want to do is add in some sort of music to the sequence. Looking at a sequence like this, you don't want to have no music because I guess just looking at it would be kind of creepy and feel very weird in the end. So adding some sort of music is definitely a necessity to sequences like this. So I have something lined up already, and let me place that there. Now the key to music when you're doing sequences like this is finding some sort of music that kind of goes with what you're trying to show off. And you want the beat to sort of go with every transition that you're doing in the video as well. So I can see, let's go there. Let's see how this sounds. All right. So we have that beginning, and I want that beginning to be a lot closer. Now, as you can see, the music kind of picks up towards here, so let's see how that sounds. Doesn't really fit it exactly the way I would like it to, so we're gonna try this over here. We're gonna shorten the song a little bit and see how this plays out. Well, we are gonna shorten this song again to try and find the exact point that I want to start this at. I think this is the winner. Shorten that a little bit more. Alright, because I like how that sounded, I'm gonna cut the end of this music clip a few seconds after the entire sequence ends, and you'll see why in a couple seconds. Boom, let's cut this whole gray area. Now, you want the music to kind of fade out. You don't want it to end abruptly, so because of that, you're gonna use this, you're gonna drag all the way so that the music ends up fading out instead of just stopping abruptly. So let's click and see how it sounds. As you can see, the clip kind of fades and the music fades with the clip. And there you have it. That was the entire process I went through to create this hyperlapse video. So let's take a look at the final product again. Actually, before we do that, if you like this tutorial, then be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe either. There's going to be a ton more of these videos in the future. I'm Steven. I'll be sure to catch you in the next video. Peace.